Good evening and welcome to another CanHammer Battle Report. We have the KHARADRON Overlords played by Nick, and we have the NURGLE Demons played by Will. So this is round one of a mini Age of Sigmar tournament that we are running in Barrhaven, Ontario. The scenario we're going to play is called Total Conquest. This is the round one scenario. Basically you deploy in this crazy S pattern. And you have to control 4 objectives turn by turn. You get 1 point per turn for each objective that you score. And units of 20 or more models get a bonus to score. So they basically have objective secured if you're familiar with 40K. So Will, take me through your army.
So it's pretty simple. It's the NURGLE Tallyman, whatever it is. So 2 units of 30 Plague Bears, a unit of 10 Plague Bears, the Greater Exalted, Great Unclean one, whatever it is. 6 Plague Drones and 2 Heralds. General's going to be the big boy. He's going to have the command ability to make a unit have +1 hit on a 3+ within 12 or whatever it is. I have to double check. And the item of ignore a wound on a 6. That's it. So you can't take a single models if you're a demon.
So Nick, take me through your army.
So we have the Brack Zilfan Skyport with 3 Arcanaut companies, each with 2 volley guns. An Arcanaut Ironclad ship with a volley gun. Then a unit of Thunderers with the ether cannons. And then 1 unit of 9 Sky Wardens, 3 drill cannons, 3 volley cannons. And then a unit of 9 Endriggers with grapple hooks, 2 Alchemists, 1 Endrin Master. And that's it. So we have the KHARADRON Overlords deployed by the marker in its ship. All these models are hanging off the ship. You have NURGLE already taking a few objectives. Overlords rolled first. NURGLE deployed first.
This is so stupid. So they're the exact
So this is NURGLE's movement, end of first turn.
Oh god, what's the game?
So basically turn 1 of the deployments pretty much where they are, just a couple inches. And walked up, held some objectives, nothing much happened. You got Mystic Shield off. That's it. Score 3 points because you have 3 objectives.
One guy does
Not an exciting turn 1.
+1 to casting rolls. The other guy's -1 to hit him in combat. The other one is whatever.
Overlords have deployed.
Yes, cheers.
Alright, so NURGLE won the second round, so he's making his
And then
moves.
+1 is 9.
Movement phase, no shooting phase.
Roll 9 dice.
These guys are super buffed up.
They're super buffed up because of this
I love your KanHammer dice.
beastly boy here.
3 dice.
So NURGLE's charge phase was successful against the Sky Wardens. A unit of Sky Wardens destroyed.
1 poor morale test.
One very, very poor morale test.
Because of his own ability.
Arcanauts have made their
But he also
move.
matches the highest.
Oh, yeah, okay.
A company and alchemist and general back in the ship.
1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Endriggers
And on a 3
made their 12-inch
When
move.
he takes more wounds,
Did we do bravery for this? No, we didn't. I don't think we did.
But it's,
So Arcanauts made their shooting, took down one of
so we started.
these
Man, I really
guys.
felt like there was 2 turns there between your hero phase and the rest.
Endriggers made their grappling hook move and moved 24 inches down this way.
Slow or anything. That was just about.
It
So there
was-
was a lot of stuff.
Yep.
So NURGLE took for a third turn in a row the lead move.
Because your banner guy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
His movements got his drones back.
So I don't actually.
NURGLE is moving.
I don't think so. Oh, maybe. Is that covering your money 6?
So drones came in and charged the
Okay,
Endriggers,
so the one guy will shoot at the dog.
and they were slaughtered.
How many dog? How many?
So Overlords took out a lot of drones,
2 more wounds.
but who knows, they can always come back.
They're unstoppable.
We'll have to be on these guys.
So drone's done, and now I roll to see who goes next.
It's getting bullshit.
Overlords won the roll off for turn. Made their movement. Not too far they can go. And Driggers moved here. All of these guys are in the Arcanaut Ironclad. And that's it. Alright, so the game was called
Alright.
12 to 4.
We'll do our blood crushers here. So,
Sitting on objectives.
That's what NURGLE does. Sit on objectives.
And that's what NURGLE does extremely well.
okay. These guys have spears. So, 7 attacks.
Alright. Go ahead there, we'll talk. I'm not looking at you.
Right. Anyway,
Your turn.
on that first turn, when you dropped in and all those Arcanaut guys popped out,
Yeah.
what you could have done to be sneaky, quote unquote, is try and get both those units to do the 24-inch move, the hop within 6 of this objective. Because as soon as you have more models, so they don't have a 20 model unit holding it, you get it, which would have given you an extra point, which at that point would have tied our score. Odds are they get fucking smoked over there though, unless you had double turn, which is a possibility.
Right.
Then you could have beat the hell out of him with all their shooting or stuff like that. But that is, you have to get the 4+ off. It's a lot of gambles that have to pay off that probably won't end well.
Right. And you were just lucky because you rolled 3 turns in a row
To go first.
to go first.
Okay.
Mind you, with this particular arm, it's so defensive, going first is nice, but it's not cool.
Right.
When the drones got in there, that helped a lot. The second turn I got first.
Yeah, your drones really slaughtered. Well, you slaughtered my Sky Wardens that had 3 drill cans in it with extra attacks from the Alchemist.
What's your rent?
Well,
So-
normally they wouldn't do that much because he buffs them up so much with the extra attack, the +1 to hit,
Right.
and the +1 save.
And I
They're
have a 1
just
inch range,
the
but
monsters when they go, and especially with the Herald around doing the extra more.
And that's the thing about the Overlords is that their range, some of their effective weapons, their range is not very far, 12-inch range.
Right.
So it's either shoot you to death or get slaughtered by your Nurgle that keeps coming back.
It's just never dies.
Just never dies. Well, good game, Will.
Yeah, thanks for your game, man. Appreciate it.
Good evening and welcome back to the CanHammer Day of Blood, Plastic Krack, etc., etc. Game 2. In this game we've got Will Paul's NURGLE versus Ryan's Mishmash KHORNE army. And then my Mishmash Chaos army. It is KHORNE Bloodbound. I've got 2 units of 5 dogs. I've got 3 KHORNE Demon Princes, 1, 2, 3. I've got 2 units of 10 Bloodletters, 1, 2. I've got a big anvil of Chaos Warriors with halberds. I've got 2 squads of Chaos Blood Crushers, my Juggernaut Lord HQ, and that's it. So the mission for this one is places of power without a place of power. So we're
Duality
playing
in war.
Duality in War, thank you Chris. Playing 2 objectives. They have to be taken by heroes or behemoths. And we'll let you know how the end of first turn goes. Alright, so we are back to the end of bottom of turn 1. NURGLE just moved forward and stayed there and was disgustingly resilient. KHORNE ran in and whiffed. We got 5 dogs and a prince that failed to kill the herald. And then over here, I'm pretty sure the NURGLE Greater Demon did more damage by his acid blood splashing back on me than I actually did to him. So, at the end of game turn 1, NURGLE still controls both places of power with their heroes, which means it's going to be real bad for KHORNE turn 2. Stay tuned. Alright, so this is the end of the top of 2, NURGLE's turn. NURGLE charged in with his killer bees, killed my Bloodletter squad, did some damage to dogs and killed a prince. Came over here, killed another prince. This is always from wounds acid splashing off the Greater Demon. Starting to think I should get out of there. That was a mistake, guys. And apart from that, we'll see if the second wave of KHORNE can shift the NURGLE at all, but he's up 6-0 on the objectives, which isn't the best. Alright, we'll check in soon. Alright, we are at the bottom of turn 2. KHORNE just finished. NURGLE continue to be disgustingly resilient, except that Big Papa NURGLE over here smacked 2 Demon Princes. It was pretty epic. We've only got 1 Skull Crusher left over there. Then we've got Bees in the center. Bees got charged by 3 units, all under the influence of the banner guy. So that actually did some work. And then over here, Plague Bears and Dogs are milling around. So at the bottom of 2, Will is up 6-0 because he's still holding our 2 places of power with his heroes, and I'm still unable to grasp them from his disgustingly resilient claws. Let's see what turn 3 looks like. Alright, we are at the end of the top of 3. We've got NURGLE cleared the left half of the board. We've got a couple of blood letters left, and our blood banner, which is super important. We've got the KHORNE Lord in the center, down to very low wounds. We've got 1 brave squad of blood crushers left. We've got a nearly dead squad of bees and a nearly dead squad of mortals that ate bees, or bees were eaten by them. Then we've got some desperate dogs in the corner. The scoring is not looking pretty for KHORNE. We've got 12-0 so far. And again, KHORNE is not looking like it's going to pick the 2 places of power anytime soon. Let's see what happens next. Alright, we're at the bottom of 3. We've got, finally, the bees have died. That took a while. Almost all of my mortals. We've got 1 large blob of Plague Bears here, and not a lot of wounds left on the Lord. We've got 1 still full squad of Blood Crushers, which are actually called Mighty Skull Crushers. And we've got this fight that is taking forever between the dogs and the Plague Bears.
6?
It will never end.
It will never end. The score so far at the bottom of 3 is 12-0 for NURGLE, and I'm really confident I can get this one back, guys. We'll see you soon. Alright, we are at the end of the top of 4. NURGLE has cleared a lot of red things from the board this turn. Except for, of course, for this corner, we are still doing nothing. Actually, bonus, we brought back 6 Plague Bears this turn, which is about 4 turns worth of dogs killing Plague Bears. So we had that going for us. The final tally so far is 20 for NURGLE and 0 for KHORNE. But I'm really hopeful that we'll get back to this, and we'll find out what happens at the end of 4. Alright, bottom of 4. We've got no red left on this side. Red fell away because red blood crushers here were in a weird daisy chain where I couldn't do more than attack with 1 guy, and I couldn't maneuver or consolidate in any direction that was useful. So we fled, and we'll come back one day, I promise. KHORNE never runs away except for this time. This fight keeps getting longer. I'm convinced that Will is just putting more models on when I'm not looking. No, I'm just kidding. But so far, score is 22-0. Thank you all. But I'm confident KHORNE can come back in the win. That was bottom of 4. Alright, so we decided to call it at the end of 4 at 20-0 because despite my enthusiasm, I don't think it's going to be anything but a crushing loss. I mean, a crushing victory for NURGLE. And I didn't mean to say, Will, that you put models back on the table when I wasn't looking, because you corrected me, of course. You were putting models back on the table when I was looking, because that is completely allowed. But it was a great game. I found NURGLE as an opponent to be disgustingly resilient, and Big Papa was really tricky. If I was going to do it again, I would try and make sure that my blood letters were not in front of my anvil, my warriors. Although my mortal warriors did a lot of work, so maybe it was correct. What about you, Will? You think it was a pretty convincing victory, but is there anything you would have done differently had you been a smarter man?
No, I did everything I could. Got a little lucky with getting the movement I needed to get the objectives turn 1. Mm-hmm. So the second you're on your back foot in these scenarios, you're pretty hard to recover. But this is what it is.
Yeah, no, it was a good game.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, we'll pass this one off to the next round of the CanHammer Plastic Krack
So forth.
Basement I can't remember. Tournament. Good evening, and welcome to Game 3 of the CanHammer Plastic Krack, etc., etc. tournament. This is a Ryan versus Ryan fight, bottom of the tables. Ryan, have you won any games yet?
I have not.
Me neither. It's going to be an epic battle. One of us, is going to be a winner, unless we tie, which would be great. So this is our third game. We are playing Battle for the Pass, where we've got one home objective, 2 objectives in the center line, and an enemy's objective, and each turn they're worth different amounts of points. So it's 1 for the back, 2 for the center, and 4 for the enemy's objective. All right, Ryan, why don't you take us through your army?
Sure. All right. So today I'm running 2 Mutalith Vortex Beasts in the front, followed by a wave of 3 units of pink horrors. I have 1 unit of flamers, and then some points in reserve for other flamers. On the flank, I've got 2 units of screamers with a burning chariot, and then my army is led by a gaunt summoner and the blue scribes.
Awesome. All right, here's the end of KHORNE turn 1. TZEENTCH got the roll to go first, or had the deployment to go first, but opted KHORNE to come to him, which KHORNE obliged. KHORNE advanced everything. Nothing is going to be able to charge, but we did manage to capture both objectives in the center, and we're holding our back one as well. So it's up to TZEENTCH to make the next move and pile on some hurt. We'll touch back to you at the end of one.
Suppose it's my turn.
All right, so we just ended the bottom of turn 1. We had TZEENTCH heroically come up and attack the dogs, wiped out a dog unit over there. TZEENTCH, so both KHORNE scored 5 points for holding 2 in the back, and TZEENTCH scored 5 points as well for taking the center 2 and holding us back. So that one worked really well. Any thoughts so far, Ryan?
Nope, covers it up.
Awesome. All right, we'll catch you at the end of turn 2. All right, so we're at the bottom of turn 2, or sorry, end of the top of turn 2. That was a weird way to say it. TZEENTCH stole the initiative, and tell us, Ryan, what happened.
Sure. Okay, so we just kept up the offensive. I didn't do as much damage with my shooting and spells as I wanted to. There's a 4+ save on some of these guys that prevents a lot of damage from getting through, but a few models here and there, a few wounds there and there, but held the line and kept 5 points.
Awesome. Well, in the end, it's all about the points. Let's see what happens next. All right, here we are at the end of turn 2. TZEENTCH got the double turn, but KHORNE found them in combat, which is not always the place TZEENTCH wants it to be. So we killed 1 squad of flyers, or screamers, and have 1 left. The Lord and 2 Demon Princes came up and massacred some pinks, but then they used Destiny Dice to come back. We had a second tentacle monster, but the Blood Crushers slayed him, and this one is wounded. KHORNE came back and took both center objectives, which means we are now tied at 10 points each. So it's a close game, but I feel like KHORNE's got the...
Alright, let's do the roll on film.
Alright, roll on film. For double turn thing. 3. What did you roll? A skull! It's a 1! Alright, so KHORNE will take the next turn. We'll see how it goes. Okay, and we are at the top of turn 3. We have KHORNE cleaned up this corner, cleaned up the pinks here, cleaned up the 2 tentacle monsters, cleaned, well, it started to take wounds, but it's going pretty good for KHORNE, I think. Did I miss anything, Ryan? How do you feel as a wound soaker this turn?
I've got to pull something out this turn, or it's going to be game over.
Yeah, because the important part for KHORNE was that he managed to, or here's the neat little trick was, I disengaged 2 units from this combat with the pink, fled them over to his objective, because he only had 1 unit within it. So now I'm capturing his objective, which is the backfield opponent one, which is worth 4 points. So I scored 9, 4, 2, 2, and 1. So in this game so far, Ryan's going to have to score 9 to tie me, and because every turn we've been scoring the same, so let's see it. All right, we're at the bottom of turn 3. TZEENTCH just came in and did some cheeky little maneuverings to contest backfield objective. We've got pink horrors holding on, flamers holding on, and the other really nice little move was summon flamers coming in and scorching my backfield blood desecrator, which was pretty good. Also letting him the +4 point objective, so at the end of TZEENTCH 4, it's 4 points for him. Anything to add, Ryan?
Nope, it's good. Got 1 last turn, 1 last chance for back-to-back turn, and otherwise I'm done.
Alright, so let's roll for turn.
Having really a room.
Cocked.
Not ideal, really.
4. What is that? 2! Alright, so Khorne will take the next turn. We'll see you soon. Okay, so end of turn 3, we decided to call the game as a Khorne victory. Score in the end was 19-14, so it was a pretty close game. I think at this point Khorne's got a bit of the advantage. I'd have to go back and deal with those flamers, but I think we've moved the line up the board quite a bit. So what do you think, Ryan?
It was okay. I needed a double turn at one point to get some magic to do some damage. There's a couple key spells that I didn't get off that would have really thinned the ranks of the warriors, but that would have been critical for halting the advance, but I didn't get it, so this time Khorne is the victor.
Excellent. Yeah, my winners, I think, were the Demon Princes, who were able to hop over the big mountain and go harass the back lines and get the back objective. I was really pleased with that performance. What was the best winner in your list, do you think?
The Flamers for kind of scoring me some 4 points so that I'm not so super far behind.
Yeah, they do a lot of damage too.
They do a lot of damage. They did not get through the armor of the Juggernaut riding Khorne warriors this time, but they still held their own.
Yeah, that was good. Well, it was a pleasure playing you, Ryan, and we'll see you on the battlefield somewhere else.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Take care.